I'm on my way to the start of the Mercan'Tour Madone-Peille Fondo. It's a Gran Fondo event just outside of Nice on the roads that I train on all the time. Got my new 8-lien wheels on, 50 mil front, 60 mil back. So they feel pretty good so far, but I'll let you know how they are after the race.
Et puis le 14 Contour Bonnette d'été suisse. Pour cette Mercan'Tour Madone-Peille, retenez du challenge Gran Fondo.
And we're off. It's the start of the Fondo, very slowly rolling past the start line. I was waiting inside to try to stay warm because of how cold it was at the start line, so I was pretty far back, but the first 10 kilometers or so are neutralized. We go down on this false flat through the valley, and it's a little bit sketchy with trying to move up. I didn't want to be really far back at the start of the climbing, so I was trying to move up here where I could, but this is a fully open road, even though it looks like we have a closed road because we're taking up the whole thing. It's not. So yeah, it's not my favorite, but eventually we get down there and into the sun a little bit, and it's starting to warm up, but the road is completely blocked. I'm basically sprinting into the wind every time a gap opens up. You can see like 500 watts there, just trying to move up whenever I can, but it's a lot of people on a pretty narrow road.
All right, that's the end of the neutralized section. Can't really move up though.
As I just said there, it's the end of the neutralized section, so the cars just drove up ahead. And there's some places like that where it looks like there's going to be a gap opening up, but then it just goes straight into a concrete wall. So you got to be careful you're not going to get squeezed by all the traffic furniture through here. This is a fairly busy road, so lots of traffic furniture, lots of cars. It's difficult to navigate, but it's strung out enough here that I'm able to just get into the wind and move up under my own power, which obviously isn't ideal, but it's pretty hard to try to start at the front of these things because of the people line up as early as they can to be at the front. But luckily this event isn't so big that it's a huge issue. I've been in other events where you're behind like thousands of people and there's just no way you're ever getting to the front. But here I was able to get to the front pretty quickly right here. This is the front of the race. You can see the motorbike. And I'm going to go ahead and just roll off the front at 500 watts because why not? I really didn't want to be trying to deal with big groups through here. I've been in a lot of these fondos before where it's just a bit sketchy, and I'd rather just attack straight away and bring it down to a pretty small group. It's definitely not the most efficient use of energy, but for me it's what I'd prefer to do. I had this guy come up in the Antibes kit, and he was pulling a couple turns, but not really doing too much. And then you'll see there's a guy behind me from the Officine Mattia team. They're like a Gran Fondo team, and they had like 4 or 5 guys here that were some of like the strongest guys in the whole race, so that becomes quite difficult. And you see that's the profile for this first climb that we just turned onto, the Côte de Berre-les-Alpes, and I pretty much just whack it right from the bottom. Then the Antibes guy does an attack here, but then the lead car has gotten blocked in this town, and it gets a little bit dicey through here going through the cars. It's a really narrow road through this town. These fondos on open roads, they try to do the best with the lead vehicles to keep it like fairly clear, but yeah, this was a bit annoying because then the lead car tries to come by and there's another car coming down, so then he has to brake.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah, definitely not my favorite situation, but once we get through that town, it's definitely a lot quieter on this road. Those are the lead motos going by, and then now I'm back at the front of the race. This guy in the white ASO skin suit is Mattia. You're going to see a lot of him throughout the event. He's probably the strongest guy other than the Officine Mattia team. And he was doing some turns with me on the front here. We still had a gap to the rest of the Officine Mattia team. We just had one of their guys on our wheel, so we were keeping it pretty fast. That team has one guy, Luca Cavallo, who wins like all of these Gran Fondos, so he was not there, so I felt it made sense to keep pushing. But then, as you can see here, now they have their whole team on the front, 4 guys. The whole group is 8 guys, so there's 4 of us that are just solo, and then their team. I'm not really sure what their tactic was on this climb, because they brought their main guy, Luca, back up to the front. But then there, they just seemed like they attacked and they dropped 2 of their guys, but then I moved up to the front because I was worried people were going to start dropping the wheels, and then they just completely slowed down and we're doing like zone 2. So not sure what was going on there. And then Mattia actually recognized me, which was funny.
Do videos on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm a YouTuber, mate. It's okay, I'll get dropped soon.
I don't know. I saw your time at the Madone.
I feel like shit.
I don't know if believe you.
It's all games.
I had felt terrible before the start of this event, but then so far
Luca.
I actually felt alright.
Which, are you Luca? Do you speak English? Yeah. Nice to meet you, man. You win like all of these events, yeah?
I was trying to get some chat going, but the vibes weren't there, so then I started getting bored, and of course I had to just attack again because I was tired of sitting in the wheels behind the OM guys. But this didn't really go anywhere. The Gran Fondo events are really popular with the Italians. I'm not sure why exactly, but I've done a couple of their events in Italy, and they're basically like full-on road races. And it's actually like a path to pro cycling teams for some of these guys. Seems like every couple of years there's like the top Fondo guy manages to get onto a pro Conti team. You see like Mattia Gaffuri and Il Bandito are 2 examples of guys that have been doing a lot of the Gran Fondo events and then gone into now into the World Tour. We crested the top of that first climb just sitting behind the OM guys, and then now we're on the descent back down to that valley where we started. That guy in the yellow is dropping the wheel, so I had to come by, and I'm not sure we ever saw him again. This is a little bit sketchy descending on open roads at the kind of speeds that we're doing because the guys in the front are pretty much opening up the corner and using the whole road, which is obviously not ideal when you see like this. We come out of the corner and there's people in the opposite lane, but as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I've got these new wheels that are feeling pretty good. So this is some footage from the afternoon before when I unboxed them and set them up. These are the new wheels from 8-Lien. 630 grams for the back wheel, 500 grams for the front wheel. I just got the rim tape fitted. It's looks pretty decent. Going to get some tires mounted on now. Putting 28mm Conti tires on. They went on super easy, no tire levers required. I love the pink free hub body, looks pretty cool. I just transferred over my cassette from my existing wheels. Thanks to 8-Lien for sending out the Aether 6. It's 50mm on the front, 60mm on the back, and they're 25 internal hooked with a 34mm external. So the tires balloon to like a massive size. These are 28mm GP5000 STRs, and I don't really have the ability to measure them, but they're looking huge on here. You can see it next to my existing wheel with a 25mm. Next to the Aether, it looks like a baby. Looks crazy, the difference. It's on a wide enough rim that it should still be quite aero. This is a 25mm on these old wheels. I had 28mm on the back. Now 28 all around. I think this is one of the nicest wheels you can get. None of the mainstream Western brands are doing anything quite this cool. It's just over 1100 grams for 50 front, 60 back, which is, yeah, I mean, that weight can't be matched by any of the mainstream brands. So it's gonna be lighter wheels and significantly more aero than what I had before. Here's what they look like mounted up on the bike. I think it looks pretty sick. The free hub, I can tell, is already outrageously loud. Oh my god. We're back into the Fondo now, and you can see that pink arrow. That's where we are on the elevation chart. Just this little rise before we go back down to the Peille River Valley. And here I have the 2 OM guys in front of me, including Luca, but then one of them was up the road. So we had to work together to chase that guy down. As everyone that's not on the OM team, which is me and these 3 other guys you can see here. So we were doing a little bit of chasing through this river valley, and then we caught the guy, and I was trying to convince everyone to attack and basically work together as a team against the other 4 guys, because I didn't really want to just keep getting rolled with attacks by them, so that would be a pretty unpleasant day. But people weren't super interested in attacking in this valley. It's pretty fast, you can see, like over 30k an hour, so it's understandable. I went for a few digs though, one right past this truck here. I know this road super well. I ride this this valley in between Peille and Lucéram all the time. And nice little choke point there. Maybe a little bit cheeky, but I managed to only bring 2 guys with me. Unfortunately, one of them was one of the OM guys, and the other is this Dole's Pineapple guy. He was pretty strong, and we were rolling turns on the front here as a brake, but then the OM guy is obviously just sitting on, so that makes it pretty difficult. There, I'm just trying to get the Dole Pineapple guy to come up because the OM guy was blocking and not coming through. Just further up here, I didn't actually get any footage of it, but it was one of my favorite parts of the event. Was after the OM guys that were in the group behind finished pulling for Luca, their main guy. He had to solo bridge the last bit, and I could see it was just him coming across. And I'm probably like 5 to 10 kilos heavier than him, so I was trying to make him work in that valley.
I'm just trying to make content. YouTube.
Once he got back across though, his teammate just set like an easy tempo pace on this climb, the Col de la Blé. And yeah, I needed to take a little bit of a break, so just sat in the wheels for a little while. And eventually Mattia, the guy in the white skin suit, was able to come back as well. So then we were a group of 4 on this climb, just doing a easy pace until we got to this descent. This goes down to the pretty famous Col de Braus from that weird little road. And over the top of Col de Braus, I did a bit of a descent attack. So I actually have a decent gap here. I know this descent super well. I do it all the time in training. And I had to go around this car. It's tricky. I mean, this is an open road. I don't want to be taking any risks in this event. I think I just got a bit carried away. I look back here and I can see I have a gap, but then I felt kind of bad about creating a gap around that traffic and maybe causing it to be a bit more dangerous than it needed to be. So I decided to sit up here. It's not really worth full sending in on these descents, even if it is pretty fun. You can see here, this is what can happen if people are trying to push it on the descents. It's an open road, you have oncoming traffic and no idea what they'll do, so it's definitely better to take it easy. And actually in this event, the one of the main descents from Col de Castillon coming up is Neutralized. So we're just racing to this top point here at the col, and it's a cool little, really narrow sort of up and down rolling twisty road to get there. So we were just rolling attacks through here. You can see there I just had done an attack and I had kind of exposed myself on the front, and as soon as I slowed down, the other OM guy hit me with an attack, and then of course Luca was just sitting on my wheel. Luckily the Dole guy caught back up and then started chasing, so I was able to sit back on the group there and we were able to bridge back across. I think we took like a lot of KOMs from this section. I'm not sure anyone's really raced through this road before. It was really fun. It's a beautiful road. You can see the sun here, the mountains on the side. This is kind of a connection between Col de Braus and Col de Castillon, and we're flying past a bunch of riders here who did the shorter course, and you'll see that as the video continues that there's a lot of guys from the 70-kilometer course that we'll pass, because basically we did an extra loop before we came up here. So there are some of those guys ahead of us. This is definitely the hardest point in the race. You see heart rate 177, which considering the fatigue that I had coming into this day, that's about as high as I think my heart rate could get. So I was pretty much maxed out here, just trying to cling on to the wheel. I wanted to attack as soon as I got back up, but I got a little bit blocked there. Otherwise, I think it could have been a decent attack. I always think when you're suffering the most, it's kind of the best time to attack because probably everyone else is as well. This was super fun, just rolling attacks through here. Definitely not an efficient way to go about the road, but this was definitely my favorite part of the event. And the deep aero wheels were definitely helping me out a lot here compared to what I was running before, which was basically the shallowest wheels I could get, because we're going like 50, 40k an hour through here, so aero is more important than anything else. I couldn't really get into my good aero position though because there's so much cornering, and I don't know this road super well. I don't do it that often to know every single corner. This number plate that I had to have on the front of my bike also definitely didn't help. I noticed that no one else in our group had the number plate on, so I guess it was kind of optional. They all had the timing chip that I had around my ankle or around their head tube, so I guess I should have done that. That sign was the 1K to go mark. I had just done another attack. I was trying to let the wheel go a little bit to the Dole guy. He kept chasing me for some reason, but obviously we should be working together against the two teammates. In hindsight, I would have been a lot more conservative in this first time section of the race before the Madone. But this morning I felt so bad going to the start that I thought I was going to get dropped on that climb no matter what, and I might as well do some attacks and try something different in the first part. This felt really fast. I mean, 50K is fairly fast, but it felt even faster because it's like dappled shade, you can't really see the road, and going through these corners and past these riders from the short event. And of course, as soon as they slow down, I hit them again. And then here, I don't know what the Dole guy was doing. He's on the front chasing me down. But anyway, it's just a bit of fun. You can see there the other OM guy tries to do an attack, and we're just coming up to the finish here. I get in the slipstream, but then the line is just here, and yeah, there's no way I'm coming past him. Little did I know this was actually the water stop that we just went through at 50K an hour. I thought that we'd be able to stop, but when we went through, I was fully on the limit and I didn't even notice that's where the water was. So then I was completely out of water already for like 45 minutes, an hour. So I really desperately needed water. I think the OM guys got a bottle hand up because they didn't stop for water.
I had to stop for water. I saw the group I was in go past, the front group, but I was completely out and really thirsty, so it is what it is. Maybe I'll catch back up before the time section restarts, but I don't know. This is the neutralized descent. Well, that's the start of the time section again. Guess I'm on my own. That sucks, but I don't know what I was supposed to do.
For this event, we basically raced that first like 2 and a bit hours to the top of Col de Castillon, where we like sort of sprinted through, and then there was a busy descent down to around here where the second time section started, and that section was essentially just Col de la Madone, but starting from a little bit further down.
Ooh, hectic with the traffic. I'm just gonna try to hold a steady pace to the top. Feeling pretty cooked from all the attacks earlier, and I don't think there's any way I can match their speed in a group anyway. I'm cooked. It's really hot. Just trying to hold 350. Definitely paying for the earlier efforts. That was a tough event for sure. I was having a lot of fun in the first time section, rolling like tons of attacks, doing it for the content, you know. But then, yeah, I had to stop for water on the neutralized downhill, and I wasn't quite fast enough to get the water and then rejoin the front group. So lost them and then rode the final climb, the Madone, by myself. But I was pretty cooked anyway. I definitely would have gotten dropped. Still definitely not feeling 100%, but I felt better than I thought I might today. So it wasn't bad. The wheels performed beautifully. They felt super good. The free hub is crazy loud, but it's nice. Definitely a huge upgrade from what I was riding before. I would definitely recommend it. You can find a link to my affiliate code in the description if you want to get a pair for yourself. These are the Aether 6, so it's 50 mil on the front and 60 mil on the back, but they have a bunch of different depths to choose from. Crazy competitive weight, like just over 1100 grams for an aero wheel set like this is pretty bananas.